Hey guys, welcome back to the Human Condition. In this video, we'll be talking about, actually first I want to start off with saying thank you guys so much for all the support on my recent videos. I really appreciate it. Especially I've seen a lot of the comments, so have been really nice and supportive, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll definitely try to do some suggestions in my comments. I've seen a lot of good ones, a lot of good ideas I just haven't thought of. I was like, I definitely gotta try this out sometime. So I'll definitely try to make videos on any suggestions you guys have. So let me know on future videos you might want to see, whether that be psychology based or anything. I'm down to try something new. But yeah, and today's video, it's another psychology video. I thought a good concept, a really cool concept would be, what is humanistic psychology and how does it shape our goals? Because this is a cool question I was thinking about recently. I was like, how as people do we come up with goals? And I was like, that's kind of interesting, pretty deep, interesting, pretty lit question to ask. Why do we come up with our goals we have? I think a lot of schools of thought help us with our goals. For example, this video is like more in depth. My original video for the series, this psychology segment was what is behavioralism, and then it was what is psychodynamics, and this one is what is humanistic psychology. And in my videos, I ranked the importance of what I believed the schools of thoughts were, and I think they're all important, but like what one affected us the most. And my first video, I put cognitive. Actually, that was my first one, cognitive psychology, which is the way we think. The second video was behavioralism, the patterns we make based off what we think. Third video was psychodynamics, because it's our deep emotional states based on when we're young and just in general. But the reason I ranked that third, when we're emotional, the reason I ranked that third is because I feel like cognitively we think more, and then we make our even though emotions can impact the way we think, I think we think sometimes more than we think our logic can sometimes override our feelings sometimes if we let it in a positive way. And that's why I put cognitive higher than the emotional one of psychodynamics, based on how it influences us. And then the fifth one would be humanistic, so physiological, cognitive, behavioralism, psychodynamics, and this one is humanistic, and this one was support group psychology. And basically, this is one of the goals we have, is to build, as people, because we're naturally social creatures, is to build support groups. And this is one of the three schools of thought that I think really affects our goals and why we have our goals: cognitive, humanistic, and sociocultural, or in my opinion at least, I could be wrong, are the three reasons why we come up with goals. So humanistic psychology, basically I was realized a lot of times our goals in life are based off other people. Like if you think about it, we even though we can come up with our own goals, and everyone's original, everyone has, because cognitive psychology, right? We all have our own uniqueness, our own originality based off cognitive psychology, because we can think for ourselves, Even though that's the case, a lot of times our own ideas come from other things. Like everything's based off something else. Like even TV characters, right? Like we'll see a certain character that's like probably over exaggerated, to be fair, but they all came based off another person, like some idea at least. And even though those ideas might have not been expressed by that person that made the TV character, they were still his ideas, and like our ideas make up the people we are, So I was like, that's kind of cool. This being said, I think that's why cognitive psychology is important, because it helps us come up with our own uniqueness. But in that being said, humanistic basically states that our goals are also still shaped by other people. For example, Um, like YouTube channels. Most people who made a YouTube channel got the idea because they had their own unique thing they wanted to share, but also because they saw other people do it. And they're like, oh, this is a really cool idea. I should do this sometime. And they were inspired to do something. So the ironic thing in life is a lot of times we have our goals that we set for ourselves, and there's like sometimes challenges and sometimes people, not always, that stand in the way of our goals. But the ironic part is we wouldn't have those goals if it wasn't for other people. Because what is life if you achieve everything, but there's no one else around to celebrate it with you? So this humanistic psychology is the main theories of it is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that basically states that in life, it's a lot of times it's harder to plan big goals, in my opinion, because we're so focused on our small goals. And a lot of times there's only a certain amount of goals someone can focus on at one time. And the struggle is, if you don't achieve your small goals, it's harder to start focusing on other things because you're so dedicated to those things, and it's hard to come up with big ideas if you haven't achieved the small goals that you still want to achieve in life. So it's important for people in this, in regards to Maslow's hierarchy of needs in this, Maslow's hierarchy of needs suggests that small goals start at the bottom, then rise to the top. And it's kind of like a triangle thing, if you've ever seen it before in like psychology class or something. It starts with physiological needs as the most important. Then you go up to safety needs. Then you go to love and belonging. And then you go up to self-esteem and self-actualization. So this kind of suggests that self-esteem can only be achieved once you achieve the 4 layers below. So what are the 4 layers below? You got physiological is your your body needs, like sleep, food, water. Then after you achieve that goal, right, you can focus on other things like, am I safe in my environment? Because a lot of times if you're hungry, like starving, you can't even focus on like, even if you're even as safe in your environment, because you're just so focused on that one physiological goal. So then you can start thinking like, am I safe in my surroundings? Then after that one, you start love and belong. And this comes from the fact that other people exist in the first place. So because of this goal we have is to be connected with other people. And after you achieve that goal, you'll have more self-esteem. And then once you have self-esteem, you can start focusing on your own goals in life. And I feel like everyone has, and that's why everyone has their goal, is because they've already achieved a support group. And that's why it's important, because if you haven't, sociocultural things, people like that influence you might become part of your support group. And by what I mean by that is like, let's say, have a support group, you're watching like influencers, like motivational speakers, and they become almost, because you have a support group, your guiding principle for your goals. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but let's say like it's only like a couple of people, they might have like goals that are so super high, you can't even focus on all the small goals that you should still try to focus on in life, and that can come, I guess, problems sometimes. So that's why it's important to not let sociocultural influences like become your main support group, I guess. I mean, it's good for like achieving strong goals, like really good goals, but you should also have other people as well, I guess. I mean, not that, yeah, but there's still not wrong with trying to achieve those big goals. As long as you have people that give you practical goals with those big goals, you can achieve like great things. So that's another important thing to have, is because I feel like, yeah. Another thing is the idea in humanistic psychology that every person is naturally good, and that kind of conflicts with other psychological schools of thought. But yeah, people are naturally good. some important people in the humanistic schools of thought are Abraham Maslow and Carl Jung. Carl Jung, I think his name is actually. They're the big fundamental people in humanistic psychology. So yeah, I think that's all I can say really in the for humanistic psychology. But basically, it's just that in conclusion, most of our, I'd say like 60% of our goals in life, at least in my opinion, I could be wrong, come from other people, and the only reason we have goals are because other people influence us to have goals. Even though cognitive psychology can make us come up with our own goals, everything's based off something else. Meaning, we have most of our goals because of other people. Most other people make us have our own goals. And it also, another aspect of, and the big thing to this also would be the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and positive, unconditional regard for people is another good thing expressed in this is always be nice to someone else, because those that being nice to someone else helps them have a support group in a way, and then makes them more motivated to achieve their goals. That's another part. If you're supportive of people and they're supportive of you, you'll be more empowered to achieve your goals, which makes sense. So yeah, and then self-actualization as positive mindsets are very important, because it stresses the fact that other people are important as well, but you got to believe in yourself as well. It also expresses that you got to trust yourself because of the people are naturally good, you know. So self-actualization is the ability to see where you want to be in life and chase after it and just go after it, and pursue that, and have people around you that support you the most, and find the people around you that support you the most. And if you have those people that support you the most around you, you're good with your basic needs. You can actually achieve all the goals you could ever dream. That's the wholesome part of humanistic psychology. It really shows you that it's a positive mindset can help you achieve your goals. So I think it's pretty wholesome school of thought. Out of all the 7, it's probably one of the most wholesome schools of thought. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. As always, thanks for watching. Oh, disclaimer, like I do in my all videos. If I say anything controversial or hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, take it back. But thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.